Hello friends, good morning. Good morning everyone. My name is Buddhadev Pal. I am a student of mechanical engineering. Those students are preparing for SSC JE, RRB JE and this type of AE JE examinations. This session is very important for those students. This is the class number 11 of thermal engineering. I discuss the previous year questions. Okay. Please join fast and share with your friends. If the session is helpful for you, प्लीज कर दीजिएगा. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट करते हैं. स्टार्ट करने से पहले जो लोग प्रीवियस क्लास नहीं देखा है वो लोग प्लेलिस्ट में जाके मेरा प्रीवियस क्लासेस देख सकते हो. ओके स्टूडेंट एवरीबॉडी जल्दी ज्वाइन हो जाओ. ठीक है, स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 251. In steam generators, a stoker acts as one of the following devices. Steam generators is where the stoker acts. Okay. What is this device? Air preheating device, steam superheating device, air superheating device, fuel feeding device. Generator is stoker, fuel feeding device. Then check कर लेते हैं आंसर. Yes, देख सकते हो fuel feeding device. Explanation of this question: a stoker is a mechanical system that feeds solid fuel like the coal, coke, or anthracite into the furnace of steam boiler. There are two types of the stoker: fired overfeed stokers and the underfeed stoker. Next question. The basic job of feed water treatment in boiler it's to overcome the problem of corrosion, scaling, carryover, all of these. Let's check. The basic job of a feed water treatment in boiler is to overcome the problem of corrosion, carryover, scaling is situated inside the boiler. What do you mean by carryover? Please comment on the chat box. Maximum heat is lost in a boiler due to urban carbon, flue gases, incomplete combustion, moisture in fuel. मैक्सिमम हीट जो लॉस होता है बॉयलर में किस लिए? अनबर्न कार्बन, फ्लो गैसेस, इनकम्प्लीट कॉम्बस्शन, मॉइस्चर इन फ्यूल. फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. एम आई राइट? सॉरी, फ्लो गैसेस मैक्सिमम लॉस होता है हीट. ओके, maximum heat is lost in a boiler due to flow gas. Dry flow gases loss. This accounts for the major heat losses amongst all. If the flow gases leaving the boiler are at a high temperature than the temperature for which it is designed, then the most of the heat is getting wasted, leading to reduce the boiler efficiency. Here is the percentage you can see. 12.7% of the heat loss due to the flow gases, 2.4% heat loss due to unburned carbon, 1.2% heat losses due to incomplete combustion, 1.7% heat losses due to moisture in fuel, and 73.8% heat is used. Next question. In a glass tube water level indicator for the boiler, one end of the tube is connected to the water space and the other end is connected to chimney, superheated steam outlet from superheater, steam space in drum, water space also. बोल रहा है जो glass tube type water level indicator for a boiler, one end of the tube is connected in water space, okay, the other end is connected to chimney, superheated steam outlet from the superheater, steam space in drum, water space also, steam space in drum. फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. Yes, steam space in drum. In a glass tube water level indicator for a boiler, one end of the tube is connected to water space and the other end is connected to steam space in drum. Next question. Locomotive boiler produce steam. Locomotive boiler produce steam. Medium rate, low rate, very high rate, very low rate, very high rate. Here is the explanation of this question. About locomotive boiler produce the steam at very high rate. It is a multi-tubular horizontal internal fire and the movable boiler. The characteristics of this boiler, remember, it is a multi-tubular horizontal type, internally fired and movable in nature. It consists of a cell or the barrel having 1.5 meter dia and the 4 meters in length. This data is very important because this type of questions is many times asked in the previous years, but our future trends जो हो रहा है तो इसमें लेंथ पूछ लेता है, जो डायमीटर है वो पूछ लेता है, कितना प्रेशर पूछ लेता है, कैपेसिटी पूछ लेता है, ठीक है. सो जितना हो सकता है डेटा को माइंड में रखने के लिए ट्राई करना. ओके, प्रेशर जो है 10 to 20 बार एंड द कैपेसिटी जो है 1 to 4 टन पर आवर. Since movable no long chimney artificial draught and achieved by the steam jet artificial dot, so it's very important. Okay, many times ask this question in the locomotive boiler जो ड्रॉट प्रोड्यूस होता है बाई which steam jet. Okay, next question. If the circulation of water in a boiler is made by the pump, then it is known as natural circulation, forced circulation, internally fired boiler and the externally fired boiler. It's obviously forced circulation boiler because we use the pump is forced circulation boiler. Force is created. एक्सप्लेनेशन तो पढ़ना ही है, ठीक है. क्या हो गया देखो. If the circulation of the water in a boiler is made by the pump, then it is known as the forced circulation boiler. In this type of the steam boiler, the water circulation takes place with the help of the centrifugal pump driven by the some external power. This is one type of question. Generally centrifugal pump is used. And the next, here is the circulation is the force by the some external agency, like pump is used. Force circulation is used the high pressure boilers like Lamont boiler, Loeffler boiler, Benson boiler. Okay, next question. Which of the following is a high pressure boiler? Lancashire boiler, Cornish boiler, Benson boiler, all the above. The high pressure boiler. Cochrane boiler, Benson boiler, Lancashire boiler, Benson boiler. They are the water fire tube boiler, and the fire tube boiler generally low pressure boiler. Okay, Benson boiler is the answer. Let's check कर लेते हैं. Yes, देख सकते हो. High pressure boiler pressure is more than the 80 bar, and less than 80 bar is the low pressure boiler. The high pressure boiler is Lamont boiler, Benson boiler, Lufrar boiler, Velox boiler, and the low pressure boiler is the Cochrane boiler, Cornish boiler, Lancashire boiler, and the locomotive boiler. It's an important question. Okay, fusible plug for a steam boiler is an alloy consisting of bismuth, lead, and I think zinc. फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. जिंक और टीन. टीन. टीन कंफ्यूजन था जिंक और टीन के अंदर से. टीन इज द आंसर. bismuth, lead, and the tin. Okay. Fusible plug for a steam boiler is an the alloy consisting of the bismuth, lead, and tin. The purpose of the fusible plug is to prevent the damage due to the overheating of boiler drum. In a boiler, it is fitted in the boiler drum above the crown or the of the furnace. पोजीशन भी पूछ लेता है. ठीक है. बॉयलर एसेसरीज आर यूज टू इंश्योर. एसेसरीज जो होता है क्या काम करता है. इजी मेंटेनेंस, इम्प्रूव परफॉर्मेंस, सेव ऑपरेशन, ऑटोमेटिक कंट्रोल. एसेसरीज जो होता है वो सेव इम्प्रूव परफॉर्मेंस को इम्प्रूव करते हैं. जो माउंटिंग होता है वो सेव ऑपरेशन करते हैं. Explanation is boiler accessories are used to ensure improved performance or to increase the efficiency of boiler. These are the air preheater, water preheater, economizer, superheater, feed water equipment, draught equipment. Next question: which of the following is the boiler accessories? Okay. Which accessories means we helps to improve the performance. Okay. ब्लो अप कॉक नहीं होगा. प्रेशर गेज नहीं होगा. वाटर लेवल इंडिकेटर नहीं. दीज आर द बॉयलर माउंटिंग्स. डी इज द आंसर. इकोनोमाइजर. सेम एक्सप्लेनेशन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. For maximum discharge of hot gas through a chimney, the height of hot gas column produce draught is twice the height of the chimney, equal to the height of the chimney, half the height of the chimney, none of the above. Maximum discharge a hot gas through a chimney, height of the hot gas column produce I think the equal to the hot gas chimney. फिर भी चेक कर लेते हैं. Yes. For the maximum discharge, the height of the hot gas column producing the draught is equal to the height of the chimney. For maximum discharge, the draught pressure is given by 176.5 H by T 1 mm of water. Velocity of the flow V equal to root over 2 GH or 4.43 root H. फ्रेंड्स आप लोग बोल देना आप लोग का कब टाइम होता है जो लाइव ज्वाइन करने के लिए. सो उस टाइम पे ही लाइव करेंगे क्योंकि खुद पे खुद मज़ा नहीं आता है. जो आप लोग आंसर करोगे तो मज़ा आएगा. इसीलिए बोल देना आप लोग कब लाइव रहते हो और उस टाइम पे ही कल लाइव रहेंगे एक साथ प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए. ओके. आप लोग भी आंसर करना तो मज़ा आएगा. एक साथ प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगा. ओके. हम लोग का तो थ्योरी पढ़ना हो जाता है इधर उधर से, बट जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन है वो छूट जाता है. इसीलिए मैं चाह रहा हूँ हम लोग एक साथ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन का प्रैक्टिस करें. और जो नए जो है मेरे चैनल पे प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर देना और ज्वाइन करना एवरी लाइव फॉर योर बेटर परफॉर्मेंस. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं, इफ सुपर क्रिटिकल बॉयलर consists of only economizer super heater and it is does not have evaporator become because the super critical boiler में क्या होता है, one throw boilers there is not required to the super heater. Water temperature can be raised to critical temperature in the economizer itself. High evaporator economizer में नहीं. High evaporation rate is achieved through the forced circulation of the water through tubes. Enthalpy of the evaporation becomes zero at the critical pressure or the above that. Flow is used run rotary compressor. I think C is the answer. फिर भी check कर लेते हैं. Am I right or wrong? Yes, it is right. A supercritical boiler consists of only the economizer superheater and it does not have and the evaporator because enthalpy of the evaporation becomes zero, critical pressure or above. A large number of industrial boilers are designed to operate between the working pressure ranging 125 to 300 bar. फ्रेंड्स, जो ट्रेंड है वो एसएससी जेई का देख सकते हो, जो क्वेश्चन का लेवल का कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहे हैं लास्ट 2-3 ईयर में. सो आप लोग का ज़्यादा ही प्रैक्टिस करना होगा और थोड़ा डीप में भी जाना होगा, ठीक है. When the boiler operates at the pressure greater than the 2 to 1 bar, this is the supercritical boiler. रेंज को थोड़ा याद रखने के लिए ट्राई करना, क्योंकि आप एसएससी इस टाइप क्वेश्चन ही पूछेंगे. नेक्स्ट देखते हैं, द इक्विवेलेंट इवेपोरेशन of a boiler producing 2000 kg per hour of the steam with the enthalpy of the content of the 2426 kilojoule per kg from the feed water at the temperature 14 degree. Liquid enthalpy is given, enthalpy of the evaporation of the water is given. I think enthalpy equivalent enthalpy evaporation equal to change in enthalpy uh, डिवाइडेड बाय 2257. यहाँ पे 2258 है, 58 एंड द 2426 माइनस 200. चेक कर लेते हैं क्या है. ओके, मास इज गिवन 2000 kg per hour. दिस इज द मास. So this is minus this is divided by into this divided by 2257. This is the formula of the equivalent evaporation. देख सकते हो आप लोग. Generally it's you remember 2257 enthalpy equivalent. Friends, next question करते हैं. Which one of the following components is not a boiler accessories? जो एसेसरीज नहीं है, इंजेक्टर, सुपर हीटर, फीड पंप, सेफ्टी वाल्व. सेफ्टी वाल्व इज नॉट एसेसरी, इट्स माउंटिंग, इट्स रिक्वायर्स. आपका प्रिपरेशन कैसा चल रहा है वो भी मुझे बताना, ठीक है. The following area are the important accessories of the boiler area. Boilers are feed water pump, injector, economizer, air preheater, superheater. These are the boiler accessories. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द एयर प्रीहीटर ऑफ ए बॉयलर इज लोकेटेड बिटवीन. एयर प्रीहीटर कहाँ पे लोकेटेड होता है? फार्नेस एंड चिमनी, फार्नेस एंड द इकोनोमाइजर, इकोनोमाइजर एंड चिमनी, सुपर हीटर एंड द फार्नेस. प्रीहीटर, फार्नेस एंड द चिमनी. ए फिर भी चेक करते हैं. इकोनोमाइजर एंड द चिमनी, economizer and the chimney. Here the explanation. The air preheater of the boiler is located between the economizer and the chimney. Furnace, then superheater, then economizer, air preheater and the chimney. So air preheater is okay. This is the answer. Economizer and the chimney. First तो economizer रहता है, उसके बाद में air preheater then chimney. Maximum steam pressure in locomotive boiler is limited to, I think this is 18 बार हो सकता है, फिर भी चेक करते हैं, डेटा माइंड में नहीं है। ठीक है, 18 बार। लोकोमोटिव बॉयलर इज ए मल्टी tubular horizontal internally fire movable boiler. The principal features of the boiler is to produce the steam at a very high rate. Maximum steam pressure is locomotive boiler is limited 18 बार। देखा, डेटा भी पूछ लिया। Which one of the following component is not a boiler mountings? सेफ्टी वाल्व, फीड पंप, प्रेशर गेज, स्टॉप वाल्व। फीड पंप, ये तीनों जो है बॉयलर माउंटिंग्स है। आई थिंक दिस सेशन इज वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू। आपको लगता है तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करके रखना और वीडियो को लाइक कर देना। Following boiler mounting components are safety valve, water level indicator, pressure gauge, visible plug, globe clock, steam stop valve, man mud inspection hole, or feed check valve. Feed pump is not a boiler mountings. Next question में जाते हैं। Anybody in life? No. ठीक है। The components of the boiler installed to increase the efficiency of boiler plants are called. The components of the boiler installed to increase the efficiency of boiler plants are called mounting accessories, feeders, tools. Accessories are used for the improve the efficiency. Next question. What flow gases are passed through tubes which are immersed in the water in case of fire tube boiler, water tube boiler, natural draught boiler? None of these. Hot flow gases are passes through tube. Okay, it is the fire tube boiler. Which of the following from parts of the boiler mountings? Part of boiler mounting. Economizer नहीं, this is the accessories. Feed check valve, steam trap नहीं, superheater. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Steam trap, yes, steam trap also be used. 2, 3, 4. C is the answer. Only. अच्छा, which is the boiler mounting? सुपर हीटर, क्या कह रहे हैं हम? सुपर हीटर तो एक्सेसरीज है, सुपर हीटर इकोनोमाइजर भी एक्सेसरीज है, और स्ट्रीम स्ट्रीम टैप तो कंफ्यूज था, ये भी एक्सेसरीज देख लिया। सो फीड चेक भाग इज द आंसर ओनली 2। सुपर हीटर का माउंटिंग क्या हो गया? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। सेफ्टी valve used with the locomotive boiler is operated by dead weight safety valve, high steam and the low water lever, and D is the spring. In locomotive, spring loaded safety valve is used. Generally, safety valve used with the locomotive boiler is controlled by the spring to release the excess steam. When the pressure of the steam inside the boiler exceeds, safety valve are utilized. The ratio of the air required for complete combustion of the carbon to the carbon dioxide and the to carbon monoxide is, it's true 2. Remember this. The ratio of air required for the complete combustion of carbon to from the carbon dioxide and the air for the complete combustion of carbon to from the carbon monoxide is 2. The mass of coal consumption per kilowatt hour generation of the power in a thermal power plant is of the order of. The mass of coal consumption per kilowatt hour generation of the power in thermal power plant is order of, देख लेते हैं डेटा क्या दिया हुआ, 0.6 to 0.8. Remember this data. Based on the CEA data are in the India, what is the full form of the CEA? Comment on the chat box. In India, the mass of the coal consumption per kilowatt hour generation of the power in the thermal power plant is of the order of 0.6 to 0.8 kg. The steam in boiler drum is always saturated, superheated, dry, wet or dry. wet और dry, वेट भी होता है ड्राई भी होता है. And air preheater increase the evaporation capacity of boiler, increase the efficiency of boiler, enables the low grade fuel to be burned. All the above, I think all the above तीनों ही तो हेल्प कर रहा है. देख लेते हैं. Yes, all the above. Air preheater is a accessory of the boiler function to preheat the air which is coming in boiler for the combustion with the help of the exhaust gases. Advantages: increase the evaporation capacity of the boiler. The boiler efficiency increase by 2%, and from 35 to 40 degrees centigrade of coming cold air is rise. Temperature is rise. Enables low grade fuel to be burnt. Next question. In modern steam generator, the correct path of the gases from the boiler furnace to chimney is: first boiler furnace to it's going to the mm, superheater, superheater for superheater to economizer, superheater to economizer, air preheater, then chimney. It is the answer. Boiler furnace to superheater, then economizer, then air preheater, then chimney. Water specific heat and constant pressure is 4 kilojoule per kg Kelvin is fed to a boiler at 13 degrees centigrade. The enthalpy of the vaporization at the atmosphere of the boiler is 2400 kilojoule per kg. Steam coming from the boiler is 0.9 dry. So dryness fraction is given 0.9. What is the net heat supplied in the boiler? Heat supplied Q equal to mcp dt. Or here you can see formula is mcp dt, okay, plus xhfg. Fg is given 2400 and saturation temperature is 100 degrees centigrade. So 4 into 100 minus 30 plus 0.9 the expression into 240. Which of the following statement is correct? In a boiler, the air preheater is invariably located between forced draught fan and the chimney, forced draught fan and the furnace, economizer and the feed pump, condenser and the feed pump. Air preheater is invariably located think force draught fan and chimney देखते हैं force draught fan and the furnace. In a boiler, the air preheater is invariably located between force draught fan and the furnace. Remember this. Air preheater to preheat the air which is coming in the boiler for the combustion with the help of flow gases. Low grade and the inferior flow fuel can be used. Improves the combustions or the efficiency with the less soot smoke and the ashes formation. Next question: which one of the following is correct? Water tube boilers are preferred for high pressure and the high output, high pressure and low output, low pressure and the output, low pressure and the low output. I think high pressure and the high output. Water tube boilers are the preference for high pressure and the high output. Generally, water tube boilers are high pressure boilers, forced circulation of the water and forced draught. Examples of the water tube boilers: Babcock's and the Wilcox boiler, Starling boiler, Benson boiler, Lamont boiler, Velox boiler, and the Loeffler boiler. Which one of the following is the correct path of the water flow through various components of a boiler of the modern thermal power plant? Economizer, boiler drum, water walls, boiler drum, superheater, turbine. Water flow through the various components. Economizer, water walls, boiler drum. Uh, economizer, वाटर वॉल, बॉयलर ड्रम, टर्बाइन। टर्बाइन के पहले सुपर हीटर नहीं, टर्बाइन तो एंड में आएगा। इकोनोमाइजर, वाटर वॉल्स, बॉयलर ड्रम, सुपर हीटर, टर्बाइन। 20 आंसर ये में है। इकोनोमाइजर, बॉयलर ड्रम, वाटर वॉल्स, बॉयलर ड्रम्स, सुपर हीटर, ड्रम और टर्बाइन। The correct path of the water flow through the various components modern thermal is economizer, boiler drum, water walls, boiler drum, superheater, turbine. Double boiler drums is used. Wait, you want. Which one of the following is the fire tube boiler? Babcock Wilcox boiler is the water tube boiler. Locomotive boiler is the fire tube boiler. Stirling Benson are the water tube boiler. Next question. The correct gas flow path in typically large modern natural circulation boiler. कंबस्शन चेम्बर से शुरुआत होता है। कंबस्शन चेम्बर reheater, superheater, economizer, air preheater, ID fan, electrospectator, stack. Then combustion chamber, superheater, reheater, economizer, air preheater, electrostatic precipitator, ID fan, stack. B is the answer, I think. Let's check. Yes. Correct gas flow path is typically large, moving natural circulation boiler, combustion chamber, superheater, reheater, economizer, air preheater, electrostatic precipitator, ID fan, induced hot fan, stack यानी chimney. Blowing down of the boiler, water is processed to blowing down, reduce the boiler pressure, increase the steam temperature, control the solid concentration in the boiler drum, control the drum level. See, control the solid concentration in the boiler water. Blowing down of the boiler water is purpose to control the solid concentration in the boiler water. Its purpose is to control the boiler water parameters within the prescribed limits to minimize the scale or corrosions, carryover, and the other specific problems. Which one of the following statement is not correct? Fluidized in a fluidized bed boiler, combustion temperature is higher than the in conventional boilers. Inferior grade of the coal can be used without slagging problems. Formation of NOx is less rate than that of the can conventional boiler. Volumetric heat release rate are the higher than the conventional boiler. Combustion temperature is higher than the conventional boiler. और बी हो सकता है inferior grade of the coal can be used without slagging for problems. A A is the right. Fluidized bed boiler, most common type of the boiler, remained for the biomass fuel, which was burned within a hot bed of extra particles, typically uh, sand. In fluidized bed boiler, the combustion temperature is higher, not lower. This is the conventional boiler. According to IBR, what is the full form of the IBR? Say mean chat box. The thickness of the boiler steel should not be less than. देखते हैं. It should not be less than 7. Okay, mind में रख देना. IBR thickness जो boiler है should not be less than the 7 mm, and safety factor of safety should not be less than the 4 mm. 4 बोल रहे हैं 4. Question number 286. Once through boiler will not have drums, holders, and the pumps. Drums, steam separators, and the pumps. Drum holders and the steam separators. Drums, holders, and the steam separator and pumps. Drum holders, headers, and the steam separators. C is the answer. In a steam power plant, steam is supplied in this uh, 280 kilojoule per kg. This is the mass flow rate. Okay, it's rejected heat. Okay, it's heat supplied and heat's rejected. If the develop of the power is this, the steam consumption rate. देखते हैं. Steam consumption rate equal to power by Q out by Q addition minus Q rejection. So its power equal to 7750 into 10 in kilowatt by the 2800 minus 2000. If you solve this, you get the kilojoule kg per second, but you multiply by 3 600, then you get the answer in kg per hour. Coal-fired power plant boiler manufactured in India generally use pressurized fuel combustion, fluidized bed combustion, circulation fluidized bed combustion, moving stacker firing system. Pulverized fuel combustion is used generally. Uh, Induced rod fans of a large steam generator have backward car blades, forward car blades, straight or the radial blades, a double car backward car blades. चेक करते हैं. Yes. Induced rod fans of a large steam generator have the backward car blades. When a fan is placed in the path of the flow gases before the enter of the chimney, the rod produced is known as the induced rod. Match the following list. Babcock's and the Wilcox boiler, Lancaster boiler, Lemont boiler, Cochrane boiler. Babcock's Wilcox boiler is the water tube boiler. Okay. The Lancaster boiler is Lancaster Lemont boiler and the Cochrane boiler. Lemont is the Lemont boiler में क्या होता है जो है लेमोन बॉयलर में फोर्स सर्कुलेशन होता है. सॉरी लेमोन लेमोन Yes, lemon boiler is a four circulation boiler. Lancaster is a tube boiler and Cochrane is the vertical boiler. चेक करते हैं. Babcock Sulcus is water tube. Lancaster is the fire tube, and the lemon is the four circulation boiler. Cochrane is the vertical tube boiler. Vertical boiler. Considering the following: safety valve, steam trap, steam separator, economizer, which are the accessories. Safety valve is not the accessories. स्टीम स्ट्रैपर से स्टीम स्पेसिफिकेटर इकोनोमाइजर तीनों ही जो है एक्सेसरीज है 2 3 एंड 4 देख सकते हो. And the different types of safety valve is used: lever safety valve, dead weight safety valve, high steam and the low water safety valve, spring loaded safety valve. One throw boiler is named as such because flow gas passes only in one direction. There is no recirculation of the water. Air is sent through the same direction. Steam is not out only the one direction. There is no recirculation of the water. Next chapter, chapter number 3, the fuel and the combustion. 293 number question. इस चैप्टर में तो मेरे को भी थोड़ा कम चाहिए, फिर भी ट्राई करते हैं. गलती होगा तो देख लेंगे क्या गलती हो रहा है. ओके. बोम कैलोरीमीटर इज यूज टू डिटरमाइन द कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू ऑफ द solid fuels, liquid fuels, both solid and the liquids. Bohm calorimeters is used for the calorific value of the both solid and the fuels. देखो बोम कैलोरीमीटर संपर्क जान लेते हैं थोड़ा. Bohm calorimeter is used to determine the calorific value of the solid and the liquid fuels. Calorimeter is science of the measurement quantities heat from the temperature. The instrument used for the measurement are the known as the calorimeters. We are concerned only with the oxygen bomb calorimeter, which is the standard instrument for the measuring calorific value of the solid and the liquid combustion samples. which of the following is not a non-conventional energy source? It's a non-conventional. It's a non-conventional. Coal is not a non-conventional energy source. It's conventional. Question number 295. Which of the following is most important commercial source of the energy in India at present? Solar energy, oil, uranium, coal. Coal is most used commercially. The combustion analysis carried out by the Orsett apparatus renders which of the following: the percent combustion by the weight on the dry basis, the percent of the combustion volume of the dry basis, the percent combustion by the weight on the weight basis. देखते हैं बी होता है, वो बी होगा द परसेंटेज combustion by the volume by the dry basis. Considering the weight percentage, which of the following is determined by the approximate analysis of the coal: fixed carbon, volatile matter, moisture, and the ashes, all solid and the gaseous components, all solid and the gaseous component expect volatile matter, fixed carbon and the volatile matter. फिक्स्ड कार्बन वोलाटाइल मैटर एंड द मॉइस्चर कॉम्बस्टन देखते हैं क्या एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है. Approximate analysis formally defined by a group of ASTM3 test method and EGG assay of the moisture, volatile matter, fixed carbon and the ash content of the coal sample. The moisture content is determined by the mass losses and the coal sample undergoes after it has the heated 100 degrees centigrade under nitrogen atmosphere. The solid fuel having the highest calorific value is wood, lignite, anthracite. Here is the type of coal. Okay. Anthracite, bituminous, lignite, peat. Peat 2000, 2000, 200, 3000, 23,000 kilojoule per kg. Lignite 25,000 kilojoule per kg. Bituminous 33,500 kilojoule per kg, and anthracite is most 36,000 kilojoule per kg. Calorific value of the fuel is based on E 1 kg of fuel. No option is the correct. क्या ऑप्शन दिया है, करेक्ट ही नहीं है. The calorific or the heating value of the fuel defined and the energy liberated by the complete oxidation of the unit of the mass of the volume of fuel. It expressed by kilojoule per kg for the solid and the liquid fuel, and the for gases kilojoule per meter cube. The amount of the heat generated by the kg of fuel is known as calorific value, heat energy, high calorific value. Okay, so thank you. के लिए if it is helpful for you, please लाइक कर देना. एंड सेशन कैसा हुआ कमेंट में बोल देना. और कौन सा चैप्टर से आप लोग क्वेश्चन चाहते हो, क्या कंटेंट चाहते हो.